Hello, my name is Veronica and welcome into the Learning Lab. Here's another installment of A Tag a Day Will Keep the Scraps Away, but instead this one is A Tag a Day, a Throwaway. Come on in and I'll share with you just what I'm talking about. These awesome tags you see in front of you are some tags that I'm making for gift giving this year, and they're going to be throwaway tags, meaning they're going to go on the gift, and when the person rips off the wrapping paper, more than likely the tag is going to go into the rubbish bin right along with the paper. And so I decided I'd make some that could be thrown away and I wouldn't feel so horrible about it. Let me share with you how I created this cute little bear tag. I created my tags using the Cricut Craft Room, and these images are all from Joys of the Season. And I started with my base layer, and I cut it at 1.792 by 3.139, and then for the layer that went on top, that's cut at 1.611 by 3. To create the bear in the back, I took some of my leftover white paper from cutting my white tags and put them through various Cuttlebug folders, and you can see there's some embossing on there, and that was simply placed behind the bear and glued into place. Next, I took some of my brown leftover paper from when I cut my brown tags, and I inked it up to get some variety for my twigs. And to do that, I just pulled out some of my different Tim Holtz distress inks and applied those to my paper, not being overly particular regarding the application, but just getting some ink on there. And from there, I used my Martha Stewart twig punch and punched out some twigs. Using the ink gave me some variegation in the color. On a different one, I applied the ink, put it through an embossing folder. Then I decided to use some of my vintage photo to hit the high points on the embossing. And that's just to bring it out a little more and try to get some additional depth into those trees using the twig punch. Then I went in and punched out a couple of twigs. And I don't know if you can tell on camera, but the embossing, which are on the top two, does give the twigs just a bit more interest. Now to assemble. Using this set from Making Memories and using that to and from, I used that to stamp the backs of all of my tags. So let's put our backing on our bear, and I am just using some Joann's tacky glue for this. And I've had to split and cut this so many times to get it running that it's coming out in gobs. Press that into place, and there's your cute little bear. Now if you want, you can ink this up, and then I just went around and using my pad put ink around. So now he is ready to go on to the base layer. Using that same glue, I just put out a glob of it since I've wrecked the tip, and use my finger. Best tools around. If you don't like getting stuff all over your hands, use a different glue or a paintbrush. And I have some wipes handy so I can wipe the glue off my fingers, because y'all know that's just an accident waiting to happen. Because this isn't cut directly proportionate, I'm kind of fudging it a little bit when I'm ready to glue it into place. Now before I did anything else, I went ahead and added ribbon to it. Now that's knotted off. I want to add in my branches at the top. That's what we have, and he's looking really cute. Now to add some rock candy stickles to the bear. And for that, I just squeezed out some rock candy and a little bit of Stardust stickles onto my craft mat. Using my Niji water brush from Yasutomo, and I would squeeze out just a bit of water just to keep your tip wet. You don't want it saturated, but kind of damp. And then you can go into your rock candy and put that onto your bear. So now he has a little bit of bling. I'm going to go in with some Stardust and apply that to those branches. I've already cleaned off my brush using the water and dried it a bit on my wipe. So now for the Stardust, and this one is more of a dabbing motion. Then for my leftover Stardust, I'm going to take that and dab just a little bit into my bear along with the rock candy so that he's glitterati like the trees are. Then again, cleaning my brush and that water to get the glue out of my nib, and then taking it off on the baby wipe. And voila, there he blows. Quick, nice, easy, simple, and you won't be so upset when this one meets the rubbish bin. But now if this is something you want to do on a large scale, I say go for it. Just up the ante on the size and you'll have a beautiful tag for a card or a scrapbook page. Love it! And there's 3 of them, lovely as can be. Thank you for joining me in the lab today. Please be sure to check out my blog at inkollusions.blogspot.com. Until then.